The financial world is about to go through a huge technology change, and FEDNOW, the Federal Reserve's instant payment system, is at the center of it all. Internal documents, technical specs, and bank memos that have been leaked show that FEDNOW is not only up and running, but it was also built from the ground up to work with XRP right away. Insiders say that big banks like JP Morgan and Bank of America are already testing XRP's use as a settlement bridge through pilot programs. The public statement isn't due for a few more weeks. This is the first time that a central bank system of this size has been able to legally add a digital asset like XRP. This will have a huge impact on the future of cross-border payments and instant liquidity. What this means is shocking. XRP fans have been waiting for a real large-scale use case for more than 10 years. A chance to show off the network's speed, efficiency, and low transaction costs in a popular, high-stakes financial setting. FEDNOW gives us that moment, music, by being the main asset for quick payments in the US banking system. XRP is ready to go from being a speculative coin to a key part of how money moves across the country. This isn't just a guess. This is acceptance at the infrastructure level, which could change how trillions of dollars move every year. According to supposedly official papers, FEDNOW's API works perfectly with XRP ledger transactions. This means that banks can settle payments in real time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with almost no problems. Reports say that pilot banks are trying transaction volumes that are like the real-world flows of money across borders. In all honesty, these tests show that XRP can handle the large-scale traffic and liquidity needs. The mix of testing for technology readiness and testing for institutional readiness. And yes, it really does make it possible for XRP to be widely used right away once FEDNOW confirms the connection. In all honesty, the effects on money are just as bad. Analysts also think that once this integration goes live for everyone, the value of XRP will skyrocket, going well beyond the normal doubling predictions. XRP will now be used as a bridge asset by the US Central Bank. This means that all of the country's big commercial banks, payment processors, and settlement partners could join the network. Some models even say that the price of XRP could go up by 100 times, because FEDNOW has made it useful and increased demand from institutions. So the timing of this statement is really important. The network is already up and running and processing pilot deals behind the scenes, even though Wall Street and the public are still, thinking about what this means. Big financial players have a real strategic edge when they get early access because they can improve liquidity flows, lower settlement costs, and secure the all-important first mover position. When the Fed makes the public confirmation available, the market could see an instant influx of both retail and institutional capital. This is because people will realize that XRP has finally found a hugely useful and backed by the government use case. In terms of technology, this combination really proves that the XRP ledger can be used on a large scale and is reliable. Older blockchain networks have problems with high fees and slow confirmation times. XRP, on the other hand, can handle the needs of the Fed right now without sacrificing speed or security. The fact that it can handle thousands of transactions per second and have results almost instantly makes it perfect for being the core of a centralized government-level fast payment system. The strategy story is very interesting. Banks have been interested in digital asset settlement for a long time, but adoption has been slowed by legal uncertainty and a lack of infrastructure. FEDNOW's design, which was made to work with XRP, fixes both issues at the same time. It gives XRP legitimacy, regulatory alignment, and operational readiness. This means that both the government and business now see it as a trusted bridge asset. Both individual and professional investors are likely to make a strong response as soon as the news comes out. Since XRP is now a valid payment layer for Fed, the token's use is no longer just an idea. It is, useful, measured, and really necessary. Analysts have already changed their models to take into account the trillions of dollars worth of transactions that could go through the XRP system. They expect the price to rise exponentially over the long term. People who are quick to adopt FEDNOW integration and understand how important it is for their business will really gain the most. Music. The effects on a larger scale are also pretty deep. By adding XRP to the FEDNOW system, The US sets an example for central banks around the world on how to use digital assets. As more countries and financial institutions see how real-time settlement, lower costs, and better liquidity management can help them, they are likely to follow suit. This could start a chain reaction that makes XRP the standard for fast cross-border payments around the world. The FEDNOW pilot is the proof of concept for world adoption. This is the most exciting part of XRP's journey so far. For years, people who didn't like the network said it was just a gas, not worth much, or not useful in the real world. That story is completely turned on its head by the FEDNOW merger. In other words, XRP is no longer just a Bitcoin. It is an important piece of infrastructure that is built into the US banking system. Because of its usefulness, legitimacy, and network effects, its market capitalization and acceptance are likely to grow by a large amount. In terms of market behavior, the integration gets rid of the uncertainty that has kept the value of XRP low in the past. The FedNow pilot shows that XRP has real-world use, which gives investors faith that its value is based on usage in the real world. This confirmation could lead to a huge increase in institutional and private fear of missing out, which would increase liquidity, help find prices, and ensure long-term stability. In conclusion, the launch of FedNow with XRP integration is a major turning point for the digital currency ecosystem. It proves years of work on technology, making it ready for use, and following the rules, and it gives XRP a real high-impact use case. Central banks' support, pilot tests by big banks, and the ability for the network to grow will allow XRP to gain a lot of value and transform from a speculative token to an important part of the US financial system. Music, now is the time for buyers. XRP is no longer waiting for people to use it, it has come. Music, do not forget that I am not a qualified financial advisor. The information in these movies is only meant to be entertaining. Before making any financial decisions, I always tell my viewers to do their own study and talk to professionals. Thanks for listening. Do not forget to hit the follow button and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Also, make sure the alerts are on so you know right away when I post something new. In the next movie, I can't wait to catch up with you. Be careful.